Yo, what's going on, guys? Alex here, and it's been a minute since I've uploaded a video for you guys, but that has been because I've been extremely busy and also I've been waiting on something. So on my previous trip that I uploaded a video for when I went down to Florida and was fishing the canals for the mullet run, I had brought one of my favorite travel rods with me, and that's going to be the St. Croix Triumph travel rod. And that's something I wanted to talk about in this video specifically. I've never really done any sort of like product review, but I wanted to kind of review this rod because there are multiple things that happen with this rod that I wanted to talk about. So let's get right into that. Alright, so one of the reasons I wanted to do this product review is because I've actually had the rod for a little while now. Now, before I got the rod, I hadn't previously done a ton of research on which travel rod is the best. Now, the reason for that being was because I never really needed a travel rod before past couple of years. Because now we're actually flying to places and whatnot, and I want to actually have a rod that I can take with me on an airplane, stick it in my backpack and go. You need about a 4-piece rod to be able to do that. For instance, you see the length of these 4 pieces here? Very, very short. This is the entire rod. Most backpacks aren't going to be able to fit a 2-3 piece rod because they're going to extend way out of here on your backpack, and some airlines won't allow that. Some will, you just have to look up the regulations, but a 4-piece is the way to go. Now, the problem with buying a travel rod in 4 pieces is, or problem with buying any rod in 4 pieces for that matter, is you reduce the quality of the rod, you reduce the integrity of the rod when you break it down into so many pieces. And now the manufacturers that are going to create rods that are better and have better integrity and are actual better rods are just going to charge you a lot more money. Now, so the hard thing to do was to be able to find a rod that would fit my needs, which is not too expensive. You're gonna have to pay a little bit of money for a decent travel rod, but also have the integrity to hold up to maybe a 10-15 pound fish or 20 pound fish maybe if I want to go for something a little bit bigger. But also I want to be able to catch smaller fish at the same time because I'm not going to be able to bring 2 rods with me. So I had a lot of constraints on what I wanted to find in a rod. So I was looking for something in that medium range, smaller or mid-size rod. So what I ended up going with is a 6'6" St. Croix Triumph 4-piece travel spinning rod. Now I bought I say I bought, and I'm telling you that I decided on these things. I gave the specifications to my father-in-law who actually bought this rod for me, so big shout out to him because he bought, honestly, I couldn't have picked out a better rod than this, and now that I've had it for a while and I'm able to do this review, it's fantastic. So it's a 6'6" 4-piece spinning rod made by St. Croix, and it's the Triumph. And now this particular one is the medium action, medium fast spinning rod. So they make several different ones. They have an ultralight, a light, a medium heavy, and they do, I believe they do them in casting and in spinning. But I'm gonna link the spinning one, this particular one, down in the description down below, and it'll show you the different variations as well. As on the box here, you can see those different variations there. So you can see the particular one that I have. This rod is fantastic and it meets all of my needs. So being a 6'6" rod, it's big enough to handle a bigger fish, but it's also not too big so where I can't just go fish for like panfish or like crappie, brim, that sort of thing if I wanted to. I just bring 2 reels with me and I'm good to go. I can just bring a smaller reel and a little bit bigger reel. Now that's not the only thing I wanted to talk about with this rod. I wanted to talk specifically about that trip that I had in Florida and why I wanted to talk about this rod now. The reason for that being is something you wouldn't actually expect. I actually broke the rod on that trip, and I was really, really upset about it because this rod runs you about $130, and that's a lot of money to me for a fishing pole, and it was the most expensive fishing pole that I own at the time, and still is the most expensive. But as you can see, I'm holding a brand new one here, and it's obviously not broken. So what I wanted to talk about was their customer service and how they handled that, which with a lot of companies, you know, you don't expect them to handle such a situation so amazingly. But anyway, I looked up their warranty policy, I contacted them, and they were like, yeah, so they have to do like claims in person essentially. So you need to send the pole to them for them to be able to inspect it, give them a brief description of what happened, and then they will either determine whether they can replace it or not. How I broke the pole was I had a big stingray on, which was a bigger stingray than should be on the end of this pole, but obviously you don't get to decide what fish ends up on the end of your line. I wasn't fishing for a big stingray, but I had gotten it close to the beach and a wave was coming in, and so I was holding the rod back just a little bit. When that wave came in, I pulled just a little harder because I was expecting him to come with the wave. And he had, turns out he had suction cupped himself to the bottom, and that wave didn't do anything to him. And so when I put that just a little bit extra pressure on, the rod snapped. And I was dumbfounded. I was like, oh no, my wife is going to kill me. But anyway, got back home, called them. They were like, yeah, you have to ship us $20 via check, whatever it is, in the package. That will cover your shipping costs, and then they will pay for the replacement of the rod if your rod's under warranty. So the fact that I broke the rod, I actually broke it on the thick end of the piece, so the one that connects to the base, which would be the second piece, it broke somewhere right in here, I believe it was. So I mean, it was very clearly done by the act of fishing and not by like stepping on it or having your rod in a ceiling fan or something like that. Now that sort of stuff won't be covered. It was covered because I broke it fishing. One of the cool things about that whole situation, I've dealt with a lot of customer service in my day, and I've never dealt with anything quite like this. They asked for my phone number, my name, and a brief description of what happened to it, and then the $20 in the envelope to get it replaced. And once they received it, they actually gave me a personal phone call, and I got to talk with somebody that was like, hey, we received your rod, we're gonna cover it, no problem, looks like you did break it fishing. We just wanted to know, maybe you want to upgrade to the medium heavy, and we'll send you that one instead, because, you know, obviously you broke your rod, so like, maybe you want to upgrade the rod, maybe this isn't suiting your needs. So that was just so nice of them to offer that. I declined because this is the rod that I want, and I just have to be a little bit more careful next time. I definitely want to stick with the medium so I can do that lightweight fishing and the heavy fishing at the same time. That was just so cool of them to offer that, and it only cost me $20 to get a $130 rod replaced. I mean, obviously shipping of a fishing pole is ridiculously expensive because they're long, but I just thought that was so cool. Anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Is the rod itself has been fantastic. It's an amazing rod. It's super lightweight. I mean, St. Croix makes such good quality rods. I mean, this rod is ounces, you know, it's not, it's just such a good quality rod. Has a great look to it. It holds up to 12-pound test line, 6'6" medium power. But if you want a rod that you can take with you and fish for just about anything, I can't recommend this rod enough. And obviously this is not sponsored. I'm not a big YouTuber or anything like that. Don't think that I'm trying to like push this rod on you because I'm sponsored. This is literally coming straight from my honest opinion and nothing else. So I've caught a bunch of fish on this since I've had this rod. It has treated me so well. It fits so well in a suitcase. They give you this nylon cover here that you can stick the 4 pieces of the rod, and then it rolls up with the rod in it. So you've got multiple layers of that thick padded protection around the rod. I shove it down in the bottom of the suitcase against the hard side of the suitcase so there's no damage, and then put all the clothes and stuff around it, tuck a couple of reels in my suitcase, and I'm good to go. It's such a good rod for that, and like I said, it's so short, but I highly recommend this. I wanted to kind of just go over something like that with you guys because it did take me a while to find really what to look for in a travel rod, and I had to do a little bit of research and whatnot, and I'm so thankful for my father-in-law for getting this for me, and it has been a fantastic rod, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's any questions you have about this or how to contact them or whatever, just let me know. I'm going to leave some links down in the description below for you guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Remember, a bad day fishing beats a good day anywhere else, and we will see you guys in the next video. My name's Alex. Thanks, guys.